Hi, everybody. Welcome to the DRF.com Formulator Race of the Day for Friday, March the 3rd. It's the 8th at Santa Anita. I'm Dan Illman, along with Matt Bernier. And Timeform US's Craig Milkowski joins us for the Formulator Race of the Day. Let's take a look at the field for the finale at Santa Anita. And remember, head on over to the Race of the Day event page on DRF.com. Download those free Formulator past performances and handicap along with us in post-position order. The number one, Craig, is Tanda's Joy, a first-time starter for a trainer that doesn't win first time out often, Mike Piping.
No, that's exactly what we have in our the Timeform US PPs. He's a 53 with his first-time starter rating compared to a 69 overall, so not really a strength, so I tend to avoid those kinds.
Matt, nice pedigree, though. These Kittens Joys, you know they fire on the turf, and they win surprisingly 16% older debut winners.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, too. Like you say, you dive into Timeform US, you dive into Formulator, you can see Mike Pipey does a tremendous job with most of his stock, but the first-time starters, past 4 years, first-time starter turf sprint, 1 for 31, only 2 of them hit the board. No thanks.
Dan was a 3-time graded stakes winner sprinting on synthetic, but was also a first turf winner. She went 2 for 6 on turf. Pedigree, but maybe this horse needs a race against the barn. Usually gives them one. The 2 is Go Argento. Go Argento has never sprinted from 5 lifetime starts, Matt. I was really disappointed with the race 3 back. Perfect trip, tracking a duel, couldn't punch it in. Subsequent 2 starts, not very good, then a layoff.
Clearly, the connections thought highly of him. They paid almost $300,000 for him back in September of 2015. But at this stage in the game, it doesn't seem like he's just, can't get the job done. Now, maybe the turn back's going to be beneficial, but I think he's going to need to improve in a big, big way if he's going to have a chance.
I like cutbacks going down the hill, blinkers off, maybe a little bit of a break improves this horse.
Yeah, I kind of dislike the blinkers off myself. When they cut back, I want to see him still maintain some of that speed that he shows, and especially from an inside post going down the hill, it's not always a great thing. I'd rather see him closer up. So, yeah, I'm a little against this one. I think he's going to take some money, and what wouldn't be my top choice.
Craig, the number 3 is Lady Preacher, a horse that didn't break very well in the career debut going down the hill in November. Came with a nice little run. Now, this horse has a strong dirt pedigree, but it was a promising enough debut.
Yeah, it was a decent debut. We had the race in red fractions, so maybe the closes dressed up a little bit. He closed from, 7 lengths back, I think it was, to about 2. But the red fractions kind of tipped me off that maybe she should have been making up some ground. And, he only finished 5th, so there were a lot more closing better.
A lot of dirt in this pedigree. By Mineshaft, not exactly a strong turf sires. I have to speechify. He's a graded stakes winner sprinting on the dirt. But again, a promising enough run. A lot of folks are going to be attracted to this rider switch.
Well, that's obviously one of those things. If you do like this horse, you're already going to lose some points just based on the switch going from Fernando Perez to Rafael Bejarano. You brought up Speechify. When he was right and could stay sound, he was a nice dirt sprinter. I understand, like what Craig was saying, the red fractions, the red colors anyway, as far as Timeform US is concerned, that maybe this one was supposed to be closing. I'm just kind of looking at it saying, I didn't love anybody else in this field. Maybe I take a shot with her.
The number 4 is Of Note, a horse that's moving from dirt to turf. But, Matt, when I look at this pedigree, a lot of dirt.
A lot of dirt. I will say the one thing that's interesting, Matt Chu normally does well with these turf sprinters going down the hill, and I note that one wanted to go down the hill first time out, got washed off. You would have liked to have seen something, though.
First Samurai, only 8% first turf. I needed to see something in the run.
Right. Now, yeah, I was surprised to see, it was dirt first time, but that was washed off. So they wanted to put this horse on turf from the beginning. I don't get it looking at the pedigree, so.
Dan was a multiple stakes winner on dirt, went 0 for 4 on the grass, has foaled 3 turf runners. None of them won. I guess my opinion in this race is I'm not a fan of the 5 Diva Lamoose, a horse that seems to take money each and every start. We know she has big speed. She'll probably be in front in this race, Craig, but the stamina just hasn't been there, and she's going to take money again.
Right, yeah, she's probably going to be the favorite or one of them, and she's almost assured to lead on our pace projector. Could be thrown a little when you have first-time starters. You can't be sure what they're going to show, but I'm like you. I don't like horses that consistently back up when they try down the hill. I almost look at these as route races as compared to sprints. They're certainly not 5.5 furlong turf sprints. You can't classify them that way. So, yeah, I don't think this one's one you want at 5-2 or 3-1.
I mean, look, you and I have talked about her. It seems like every time that she's in one of these races, we're going over it. For everything Craig said, I don't like horses that as the distance goes longer, she starts losing ground and horses go by her at the end of the day. She's going to take money not just because she's Baffert, but because you have Mike Smith up. I just look at it and say, first things first, Baffert doesn't really excel on the turf. I know he's been a little bit better in recent, but this is just a horse that I would never, ever back.
The number 6 is Line, and we're going to take a look at the Timeform trainer statistics for Line's trainer Dick Mandela. And Craig, let's explain some of these functions for the folks not familiar with the Timeform US and its various facts.
Sure, it's a 0 to 100 scale where 100 is perfect. It looks at win percentage on the board, also ROI, and kind of comes up with a number. So if you see 100, it's good. You see a 20, it's bad. It's pretty simple. And the things I liked with this horse line, where you see the dirt to turf, Dick Mandella's a 99, which wouldn't come as a surprise to anyone. I don't think you need to see the number to know that. But what intrigued me even more is he's another that just doesn't do well, probably by design first out. You see the 45 rating for first start. But second start, he jumps up to a 77. So while 77 may not seem like, it's jumping off the page, hey, bet me, compared to that 45, it's a big deal. And he definitely does much better second time out.
And Timeform also has pedigree ratings, and I believe that line has a 90 for turf, and no surprise considering this pedigree, lots of grass.
Right, and those pedigree ratings look at, the breeding, but they also look at the speed figures the progeny you've earned and things like that, and they can be enlightening.
Matt, the Dam Wend was a good horse. I think she won the New York. She was a multiple Grade 2 stakes winner on the turf. She's foaled one turf winner that won the turf debut. Warfronts, we all know, do well on grass, 12% with first-time turf runners. Lots of quick workouts here. Source ticks a lot of boxes. I have a feeling she's going to take a little bit of money.
Yeah, I have a feeling she's going to take quite a bit in here, simply because of all the things that we've laid out. You brought up Wend, the Dam. She won not only the New York, but the Jenny Wiley and the Honey Fox, so there's plenty of quality there. The Warfronts, they can do a little bit of both, but just look at this pedigree. It just feels like turf is what she wanted to do all along. Mandela, as you made mention, second off the bench, or second career start, I should say, moves forward. She checks basically every box you could ask.
Matt, the 7's Tibley, and this horse has a strong European turf pedigree. Oasis Dream, her sire, strong turf sprint influence. Dam, Group 3 placed on turf in France. So there's a lot of pedigree. Neil Drysdale, to me, not the kind of guy that's going to crank him up first time out, but at least there's some bloodlines.
That's the only concern for me. Like you say, Oasis Dream about 13% with the first-time turfers. Neil Drysdale, past 5 years, first-time starter, sprint 1 for 43 with a 59-cent ROI for reasons I don't need to explain. Not a high percentage, not a sort of positive move as far as an ROI is concerned.
Yeah, and we had the same thing in our past performances. I looked, I saw first-time starter, the breeding was good, and then I looked at Neil Drysdale, 34, which is pretty low. That's about as low as you get, so I'm not very interested in betting those types.
Steve Miotti's another trainer that likes to give them a race before they really succeed first time out. But the 8-10 countdown's got a nice pedigree, Craig. We know the City Zips. They can win first out. They can win on the turf. 13% with both first-time turf runners and older debut runners. The Dam was a stakes play sprinter, but she won on turf.
Yeah, the horse looked okay. Like you said, the trainer's a little question mark there. It hasn't been showing much in the morning. Really slow workout. So, I'm generally one that doesn't look to bet first-time starters. I'll avoid a race because of them, but very rarely am I going to select one, and this certainly isn't one of them.
She's the horse that I'm probably most interested in long-term, just because I don't know what she's ultimately going to be. You look at the Dam side, though, you made mention you've got All-American Birdie, Hurricane Birdie, Sun King, Potion Drive, Trader. They're all graded stakes winners. Steve Miotti, he's 1 for 33 the past year with first-time starters. The only one was the horse that I like quite a bit, Mr. Hinks. I don't know that this one's going to run very well first out. Like you say, usually gives him one. I think this one could be okay, though.
This is Tyler Bates' first call, the second one, 13 Isla City on the also eligible list. The 9's another one who debuted on the turf, but going 5 furlongs, fell behind, came with a solid enough run, looked like she galloped out well after the race. Another horse with dirt pedigree, but dirtied up by that most recent line, not on turf.
Yeah, and she showed more speed when she ran on dirt last time, which I found interesting. She didn't show a whole lot on the turf the first time out, but she ran into good fractions. Her turf debut was pretty good. And, I think she's dangerous. I love the outside post going down the hill. A lot of things in racing you hear are myths, but when you actually look at the data, there is an advantage of being outside on this course. And, I'm interested in her. She should be stalking, and she's one I'll be keeping an eye on.
You look at that career debut, like you guys made mention, it wasn't a bad effort, all things considered. The third place finisher that day came back to win next out with a 65 buyer. Look, I think she should be able to work at a decent position, especially after showing that nice early speed in that dirt race. I don't have anything really to knock about her.
10 is Majestic Vixen. And Majestic Vixen should move forward off her career debut. Peter Urton, another trainer, doesn't usually win first time out. This horse showed somewhat surprising speed in that race before packing it in. Now returns with Lasix. Has a little bit of pedigree. I have to Washington Bridge, who was a graded stakes winner on dirt. Firepath, the graded stakes placed runner on turf. Listen, if this horse breaks well again, maybe she sits right off Diva La Musa. That's a pretty good spot to be in.
Yeah, that's exactly what my note was, that she's adding Lasix. She showed speed going 5. So, if anybody's going to be up there with Diva Lamoose, it should be her, pressing her. If she backs up and inherits the lead, she could get Brave up there.
I mean, we know Diva Lamoose? Isn't there a really strong scenario or a strong possibility that she ends up packing it in as they turn for home and this filly just inherits things? And I thought she ran pretty well, all things considered. Like you say, Urton usually does better second and third out. And she got into a little bit of a pinch at the top of the lane and folded late, but I think she could work at a really good trip.
A lot of promising runners in this race. Let's take a look at our top selections for race number 8 at the Great Race Place on Friday. Matt, we'll start with you, the 3 Lady Preacher. We're hoping to get a better start this time around.
I think as we've all sort of made clear, we don't love Diva Lamoose. If she wins, I think we're all going to end up losing in here. And of all the horses that have shown a little bit of something, I at least like the fact that she came on a little bit at the end, even with sort of the race flow in her favor. I just like to think that second start, she's going to take a step forward again. Got to get out of the gate, though, because that was a terrible start.
Craig, I'm with you on the 6th line. Powerful trainer angles on Timeform US, powerful pedigree to boot. What price do you need, though, on a horse like the 6th line?
Yeah, I was a little surprised I picked this horse before I saw the morning line. I was expecting more 5, 6 to 1. I see she's 7 to 2. I probably wouldn't go much below that. If she does dip too low, maybe another one would be the one I'm looking at, or Matt's pick, Lady Preacher.
If you're playing the Friday race of the day from Santa Anita, or the entire card for that matter from home, $300 sign-up bonus waiting for you, drf.com/trifecta. Approximate post time for race number 8, going down the hill at about 6.5 furlongs, is 4:30 Pacific. Best of luck.